Happy Friday! Things are continuing to heat up and lots of craziness going on around Major League Baseball and around the sports world as well. Will, welcome to the chat. First one here, as always. Thank you for sending the positivity. I appreciate it. It's been a very interesting time for sure. It's 11:30 and I feel like I've had so many more troll conversations and all types of ridiculous things that people have been tweeting.
What? Trolls are out today?
Yeah, as
really?
always. Well, I posted a tweet for anybody that doesn't know. I posted a tweet last night.
Oh no, just mute the conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I posted a tweet last night.
Wait,
and
you
I was
posted
like,
an opinion online?
Oh my gosh, God forbid! And I literally
Don't
all
do
I
that,
said
Renee.
was, people will never understand how exhausting it is to be a woman in sports, especially as a woman of color. And then I woke up this morning and had all these trolls and bots and people and all these misogynistic, racist
Don't read
comments
that.
about like, what's so difficult about it? Blah blah, all this ridiculous stuff. So.
Don't
The
read
usual.
comments
It's
on
the
the internet.
usual.
Nothing good comes from reading comments.
It's fine. People like to sit behind a screen somewhere and say whatever they think they are comfortable saying. So yeah, it's the usual trolls being trolls. So happy Friday. We're not letting anybody get to us today because we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about. Welcome in John Franco. Nice to have you here, Franco F. You love jet tracking season. Listen, we love the fun of being able to follow rumors.
Jet tracking season, that's great.
Following the rumors, following the updates, because every single day we've had a different update. So welcome to PHLY Phillies podcast. Tyler Zulli, Jamie Lynch, Renee Washington here. And every day we've been unpacking the latest around the league. Updates, rumors, news. So you guys are right on time. Thank you, John. Appreciate you as well. Patrick, nice to have you here live, able to join the show live and in the chat, active from the beginning. Tyreek Bailey, good morning to you as well. Happy Friday, guys. How are we feeling this Friday?
More like it.
It's
Yeah.
Friday. There's a whole
Skylar
song
woke
about
up this
that.
morning and was like, "It's Friday, Dad," and I was like, "You damn right it is,
Oh,
girl."
I
I
love
didn't say
that.
Dad, but
It's
I
Friday
was very excited.
morning. It's Friday.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's nice weather out today. Nice little fall afternoon. Going out to dinner with some of my high school buddies, which is a rare occurrence
I love
tonight.
that.
So a nice little Friday ahead for myself personally. Hope it is for everybody else out there. And yeah, there's a lot to dive into today. Some trades within the division, some more rumor mills, some projected contracts. We got John Foley joining us a little bit later. Renee will show you how to cheat at Guess That Ballpark to close out the show. A lot to get to.
Wow. Just wow, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a troll. I'm sitting right
I
here.
was going to say, as I'm talking about trolls and rude people, I got one right next to me. At least you have a real face and name,
yes.
and you're not a fake person that's on Twitter trolling me. But yes, welcome, Chris. Look, I love the fact we've got people able to join us. Chris, you're so glad you can get Phillies updates living in Baltimore. Thank you for the compliments. Nice to have you here from Baltimore. Welcome in. All right.
Drink some Natty Bows. You ever had the Natty Bohemians?
No.
They're not very good.
No, I'm not.
They're okay for a cheap beer.
I'm not a beer person though, so you know,
right.
I wouldn't try that. All right, let's jump right in because we talked a lot about Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani. We've dabbled in some Juan Soto. We've talked Aaron Nola. So today, who are we talking about today? Let's toss a name up in the air. Let's start off with Yamamoto. So John Heyman believes that the Dodgers and the Giants have a lot of advantages for Yamamoto. Now, as we talked about yesterday, Yamamoto has indicated he possibly has a preference of being on the West Coast versus the East Coast. There's some reports that have said that. There's also reports that he wants to be with an iconic club like the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox. And of course, every team is interested in Yamamoto. He's one of the top prospects that are available. And so now I feel like we're every day having new conversations. I know, Jamie, you're feeling the torturous wear of like thinking about this in your sleep almost.
Yeah. Well, these are the words I read from John Heyman last night as I was putting together our show sheet. And I feel like it's just been the same reiteration of words before we get to Yamamoto. The Phillies are first trying to retain Aaron Nola, but they'll have their limit. And the NL Cy Young winner Blake Snell plus Eduardo Rodriguez, Sonny Gray, and others might be in play too. Okay, can we just stop saying the same thing every day? And, you know, this is what's getting pushed out there. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong, and I was having the thought the other day, like, are they going to bring back Aaron Nola? Like, I've already kind of come to terms with it. I know we've talked about it in the chat before. I think you have, Tyler has. We've all just kind of accepted that Aaron Nola is gone.
Yeah.
But everything you read from these guys, and even, the Jason Starks and Ken Rosenthal's, and it still seems like Nola and the Phillies are the first option or the first communication that's going to be had between those teams. So we'll see if that's true or not. I think in about 2 weeks at the winter meetings, we'll see if that's valid or not, because it does seem like things are just waiting to kind of blast off at the winter meetings. Like it seems like there's a lot of back channeling, rumor mill working and all that. And hopefully we get a frenzy at the winter meetings coming up.
Yeah, the thing is, we have no idea what to actually believe because everything has been speculatory and reports, and somebody said this and somebody said that. Of course, we know even as we talked about right after the season ended in Dave Dombrowski's pressers, and he was talking about the priority is, their hope is to try to bring back Aaron Nola. And then we've also been swayed to think there's no chance Aaron Nola is coming back. So, but you look at it.
If it's $100 million gap, what are we doing?
That's the thing.
That's not a real thing.
What we know is realistic is the money. And so all the speculation about like location or wanting to play with certain clubs, I also do weight. I take certain things I feel like with more weight than others. So like Shohei Ohtani saying he wants to go to a club. He's okay with a short-term deal if you can go somewhere for a win now potential type of team where he can be, in the running for winning a World Series. That makes sense to me. If you're prioritizing money and it's a huge gap, like $100 million, that makes sense to me.
Is that even a real negotiation if you're $100 million apart?
To me makes sense that I could believe that. But all other things of like, I don't know, there's been all types of stuff like, Yamamoto has a friend that plays on Boston that like they play together in the Japanese league. All right, is he going to want to go there?
That carries a little weight.
It carries a small. It's the scale of the report card. It's a different percentage. So yes, I think right now it's everybody just trying to put out whatever they've been hearing. Executives are saying this, and this is what I hear from their agent and things like that.
Well, Tariq Bailey in the chat is right. The top 3 guys. It's all about who signs first. And I am curious which one of these top 3, either Yamamoto, Snell, or Nola, signs first, because if I had to guess, Yamamoto at age 25 is going to get the most of these guys. Snell has only gone over 180 innings, twice in his career, walks the most guys in the league. And Nola has ups and downs, but is durable. So, I think Yamamoto has the highest ceiling, all of these guys, because of his age. So if I'm Snell and Nola's agents, I'm probably wanting to wait to see what Yamamoto gets. That, or you can use it to your advantage and go sign with a team first, and then Yamamoto can up that. So it is going to be an interesting thing to see which of those 3 signs first, because the other 2 are going to be waiting to base their salaries off of who signs first. So it's kind of like that stare down here, and who's going to blink first. And I don't have a really good guess. If I had to guess, I would say Snell signs first. But that's just throwing a blind dart at the dartboard.
Yeah, well, let's unpack some of these comments because there's a lot rolling in. Tyler, if you could actually scroll up a little bit more, keep it going. Okay, beautiful.
John wants to know if you're cutting down a Christmas tree after the show today.
So wait, scroll up a little bit more because I saw a couple new names in there I wanted to hit on too as well. Welcome, Brian Gravino from Hershey. Nice to have you here. I love Hershey. It's great out there, especially I love chocolate, so I love Hershey.
Hershey Hotel
and Hershey Park. Yeah, so much fun.
If you have like $600 a night.
Yeah, Brian's also giving the well. I love that you guys are supportive. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
DJ 1698. I don't recognize that one.
Yeah, welcome in, DJ. Nice to have you here. Phillies need to go all in this year. Agreed. I think Will was asking your favorite beer choice.
My favorite beer locally.
If you had to choose one.
If I had to choose one, I think the beer I could consume most regularly is the Tonewood Freshies.
Oh. I don't know anything. I don't drink beer, so that's on you.
I could just drink that every day.
Take your word for that. Although I guess if I was getting ready to cut down a tree like John Dickerson's asking, maybe I should also have a nice beer. It is. I'm wearing my Hallmark gear, guys. I saw
a really funny meme that I meant to send to you and Vince. I forgot, and then I lost it. It was scientists in a lab with beakers and all that stuff, and Bunsen burners, and it says Hallmark executives trying to come up with a second movie plot line. And
there are
you and Vince
a
as the
lot
resident
of diverse Hallmark movie plots. I was just watching one yesterday where the woman's in Germany and she's like an artist working in Germany, and now she's just trying to decide if she wants to come back home to America. Like they're adding more demographics, more race, more diversity, more types of love and
same
families.
Plot lines, sort of
same plot lines. It's always the same. Big city goes to small town, falls in love in like 3 days, and has to decide whether or not to stay. There's the plot.
Franco F just had his first treehouse.
Oh, I love
the treehouse beers.
Oh, I was thinking
the Orange Julius.
I was
green
thinking
Julius?
the actual like treehouse.
That's
so cool because
beer
that's
nerds,
awesome.
Beer nerds widely
guys are
consider
really taking off with
Treehouse
the
the best in the country. It's up in Massachusetts, so tough to come by in these parts. But
Tonewood is an awesome brewery.
Yeah, Oakland, New Jersey, baby.
Well. You guys are really going down the beer trail right now. Yeah, Heidelberg Holiday, John Dickerson. You got it right. That was the movie. That was the movie I was watching yesterday, Heidelberg Holiday. It was actually it was cute. It was different. And then Dave's ironically going to Hershey this afternoon for the weekend. There you go. So lots of, and I know MBDBDBF was saying earlier, John Heyman just putting out these reports like the Phillies are interested in Aaron Nola and also the other top prospects.
Well, yeah,
and,
no shit, John.
like
we need a starting pitcher.
Putting out these like generic fluff things where you can't be wrong. But to me, it is funny because I have seen contradictory things. Like when I heard the report that Yamamoto wants to be on the West Coast, and I also heard the report that Yamamoto wants to play with like a legendary club, as he calls it.
Yamamoto wants money.
Of the Yankees or the Mets or the Red Sox. And it's like, that's not the West Coast though. And then of course, every day we're hearing things like the Chicago Cubs have been active as well. They've obviously been in talks about Rhys Hoskins. We've heard some rumors, and Shohei Ohtani's been another one that's been in the mix with the Cubs. So every day it's been a different batch. You want to talk about scientists in the lab. It's been a bit different batch of mixing up some possibilities. But I don't know. I think back to the original comment of, whoever signs first, it's like, you're probably setting the bar, and that bar is going to attempt it to be higher. Or depending on how high it is, nobody's going to be able to match that. Like if it's Shohei, no one's matching that.
No. He's in a new stratosphere of his own.
Right.
Snell and Nola, like if they get a $200 million offer, I'd be shocked if either of them tried to get more. I think their window is like that 175 to 200 range. So if they get 200, I think one of those guys is going to pounce. So I think it's on them. I think Yamamoto, and he hasn't been officially posted yet, right, Tyler? I think he has.
No,
I think there was speculation it could happen in the next like 10 days or 2 weeks or something. So there's a $25 million posting fee to the club in Japan on top of it that you have to spend. But I would assume Yamamoto is going to go last of the three. I think Snell and Nola will set the market, and then Yamamoto will break it, if I had to guess.
So do you think that one of them gets signed before Shohei?
Here we go. John Morosi update. Yamamoto's posting window remains on track to open in the next several days.
That's
the procedural documentation is nearly complete. Once finalized, MLB clubs will receive formal notice of the 45-day window to negotiate with his representatives.
That's what I keep hearing, days. But like, is that 3 days? Is that 10 days?
It'll be before the winter
several
meetings.
Days.
It's definitely before the winter meetings. I don't know when Ohtani's is going to happen. And John Heyman, I know we're mentioning him a lot, but he's been very active. Sat down with two front office, quote, experts and projected some of the offensive numbers for these contracts, Ohtani included. We'll read those in a second. But yeah, I would think Yamamoto goes last of the pitchers because I think he's going to make the most because of 25 years old. Like that's the most appealing thing by far.
I can see that.
He's going to want Snell and Nola to set it, and if they get 200 million, then Yamamoto's probably going to get 225.
I also feel like, I mean, they're all great prospects, but I feel like Snell and Nola, and I don't even know if this makes sense of what my brain is trying to construct. Snell and Nola are Mr. Durable, Mr. Cy Young. You know what you're getting from them, and I feel like Yamamoto is the flashy new thing on the market, new guy on the market, and so I feel like teams are. It's like we've talked about, 25 years old, coming from the Japanese league, great numbers, great fastball, great money that he's predicted to be signed for. Whereas it's like this is an easier deal. They're the simpler. They're the
definitely.
simpler deals, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So
Aaron
that
Nola
makes
might
sense
be like
to me
the
that it's like
safest
way
deal.
less complicated. It's like you're going in the store and there's like the flashy item on the top shelf or the one you can grab yourself, and you're going to grab the one you can get yourself. And then if you really want it, you might get some help to get that top shelf item.
Yeah, I think Nola's the safest.
That's where I could see that for sure.
Of the market, really. Like, I think you pretty much know the range that Nola's going to fall in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of ERA, whip, innings pitched, strikeouts. Snell doesn't have that durability, has those up and down years. Yamamoto, you don't really know how he's going to translate, but everybody thinks very well.
Right.
So Nola is by far the safest. So, the Ohtani, I don't know when that happens. I don't have a good guess. He's going to have every major market team after him, much like Yamamoto.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know when that's going to happen, but I guess a new fighter entered the arena last night when Buster Olney tweeted out his story about Ohtani, and that's that the Chicago Cubs are preparing to make a major push for Ohtani. And, if he cares about that baseball, history and pedigree, Wrigley Field is a pretty damn cool place to play. The Giants apparently are worried because it's not a power hitter left-handed bat park, that could cost them in the Ohtani sweepstakes. But John Heyman's story this morning went around and talked to some executive experts. And here's the 3 ranges of an Ohtani deal by their guesstimation on the market. Expert 1 predicts $535 million over 11 years. So what's that, like 47 and change a year? I guess 47 and a half, roughly.
500.
That kind of makes sense. That's not bad work if you can get it. Expert number 2 predicts $400 million over 10 years.
Okay, so that's 40
straight up. That's easy math. The math
easy
is
math.
math.
Oh, yeah.
And
this
then,
is a fun game. I like this game.
John Heyman's prediction is $600 million over 10 years.
60 per year.
$60 million per year.
I like that deal. If that's
if you're Ohtani, I think you take that
I take
one.
that deal. If I
So
had to pick one.
that's the wide range. He got 2 executive front office experts.
That's a $20 million per year gap.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I mean, he's going to get over 45 a year.
Jeez.
Does he get over 50? He might.
Yeah.
Like he's something the game's never seen before. So it's almost like there's the MLB offseason and the hot stove, and then there's Ohtani. Mm-hmm. And they're just 2 completely different worlds because we've never seen anything like this.
Now, I know in the chat, you guys are saying MBD, you were saying Snell's not durable. Nope, he's not. Mm-mm. Nola is the Mr. Durable. Snell is the Cy Young winner in my comparison, obviously. But they're both very predictable, safe. You know what you're going to get. I know you guys are all talking about the timeline. Tyreek's feeling like it's going to be months, I think you mentioned. John, you're saying you feel like we're going to see guys signing at the winter meetings. It definitely feels like this year's a lot more aggressive and a lot more happening right away. Like I don't feel like we're going to have to wait months and months. And if so, that means we're going to have months and months of episodes where we're going to be talking about all the latest rumors. But I imagine we're going to start to see a major signing within the next few weeks.
It's the second year of the CBA, so I think executives have their head around.
I agree.
The new model better.
Yep. So back to the Ohtani Cubs thoughts. Now, the Cubs were one of the finalists for Ohtani back when he came over from Japan in 2017, but at the time, the lack of a DH spot in the NL worked against them. And of course, we know Ohtani wants to be able to hit and pitch. So the Cubs now do have another chance to reportedly land him, and ESPN's Jesse Rogers was also reporting the same thing, that they're trying to pursue that and wanting to see if they could actively sign Ohtani. So that's also something I think that's been a very big consistent theme I've heard, is a lot of teams that have had past conversations with guys but weren't able to make the deal happen are now circling back. It's the ex coming back again, trying to slide in your DMs, and now they're back again like, hey, wait a minute, last time we didn't have this, but this time we do. Now are you interested? So for Chicago, who's been one of the more active teams that we've heard about, it's possible. I mean, Toronto's been in the mix. We've obviously talked about the Dodgers with Ohtani.
Was one I didn't see coming.
Toronto's been apparently, according to Jeff Passan, they're actively wanting to do something big this offseason and really shake things up.
Doesn't get much bigger than Ohtani.
Ohtani's definitely a big deal.
I wonder how much Bryce Harper kind of changed like that front office perspective on these long-term big money deals, because like when you actually break Bryce Harper's contract down, he's underpaid right now.
Yeah.
So I wonder if teams are looking at it like, oh man, the Phillies really have a bargain with Bryce Harper at $25 million per year. If Ohtani's going to be, and I know he pitches eventually, not next year, but if he's going to be getting 50, let's say he gets 52 per year on average, and you look at Bryce Harper at 25, like executives around baseball might be going, damn, that Bryce Harper deal is good. If I can afford to. Because when you signed Bryce Harper, you figured like that 11th, 12th year on the contract, you were probably going to be taking it on the chin and eating some money there. But like now in his prime, it allows you to be a little more flexible in your roster construction. So I wonder if teams are now looking at that and going, all right, this isn't as big, bad, and scary as we once thought it was. Like if I can eat that money in 2036 and I don't have to worry about that, because who owns the Cubs? Is it still Wrigley money? Whoever it is.
Yeah, I believe so.
You know, like if I can eat that in 2036, whatever, it's worth it for the next decade. So I wonder how much the Harper contract really kind of changed things a little bit there.
Well, you know, in the chat like you're talking about, and we've talked about this before, yes, MBD, it is an awfully steep price, especially he's a DH with 2 Tommy John surgeries. But on the other side, as John is talking about, and we've mentioned before, with Shohei Ohtani, whoever signed Shohei Ohtani, you're immediately getting beat writers from Japan. You're getting the international fans. You're getting a whole lot that comes with it. It's a huge investment because it definitely, on the flip side, you're probably selling out and getting more tickets, more merch, more jerseys, everything that comes with signing a big name like Ohtani. So that absolutely makes sense to me. I do want to say hello really quickly though before you jump in. If you can scroll up a little bit more, Tyler, you've got another name that's semi-newish, a little bit more. There it is. Tacitus Kilgore. I think you were in here before, I remember, but welcome.
Familiar.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. It's a very distinct name. Welcome in. Relative Time Works, welcome in. Mickey's, of course, remembering the fact that you guys had me teed up to be able to marry Shohei Ohtani. That's why I'm in my Hallmark outfit today.
Did you see his adorable dog yesterday when he accepted his AL?
You know what? That's our pup.
And he got his MVP and gave the dog a high five.
We've been working on that.
Yeah. Yeah. But the conversation in the chat right now is very like fair if you want to look at the other side of Ohtani.
Yeah.
He's now had 2 Tommy John surgeries, and he's kind of a positionless player if he's not pitching. He can play the outfield, but he's like Kyle Schwarber. Do you really want him to be? So if he's not a pitcher, are you really willing to pay $50+ million a year for a DH if he blows that arm out again?
That is the concern.
That's the tough part with the DH pitcher kind of thing here in the history of the surgery. But you know what doesn't have to be? The PHLY locker room for you, because Renee, next week, starting on the 24th through the 27th, if you want to get in shape for the holiday season, we are doing our Black Friday days here at PHLY. If you head to PHLYlocker.com, it's going to be 25% off everything we got. We're kooky. We're nuts. 25% off everything. Spend $75 or more, and you'll receive a $15 gift card. Again, that's Black Friday, November 24th through the 27th. So if you've had your eye on some gear in our locker room, go grab that. Coming up, 25% off for you.
Woo!
Ohtani's not giving 25% off discounts. I will tell you that.
Look at that gear you can shop for at our PHLY locker. It's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta get a hoodie.
Save money. Yeah, I actually want to order a hoodie as well.
I really like
Great
that black
holiday
bell
gift for you guys if you're looking to buy some merch for somebody, especially those of you that we've got a lot that actively are supporting our show as well as the other PHLY shows. So yeah, jump right in there, get to shopping. We're starting early. You don't have to wait for Cyber Monday. You don't have to even wait for.
I do want to get some Christmas shopping done early this year.
Yeah. Don't wait till last minute because it's stressful when you wait until the last minute and trying to hope that things get delivered on time or whatever else. But you guys are making some great points about Shohei Ohtani. I'm sure these are absolutely the same types of conversations that are being had. I also think that's why Shohei Ohtani has reportedly been okay with a short-term deal too. In my opinion, I imagine his team is probably saying, look, ultimately you'd love to get that 10, 11-year deal, but coming off of your second surgery, it probably makes more sense to go get a short-term deal, get back to pitching, and now maybe who knows what the future holds.
I'll throw him a 2-year, $120 million deal if John Middleton's money.
I think that makes way more sense than a long-term deal, especially given his injury history.
Tyler, 2 years, $120 million. You in? 1 year of pitching, 1 year of just hitting.
I'll give him 2 years, $300 million. I don't care. Because here's the thing.
$300 million.
I think that for Shohei's sake, I think taking a short-term deal is stupid. Because it's like unless the AAV is so
75 or 80
significantly
million
stark,
a year,
right?
yeah.
But if it's 10 for 400, let's say, and 3 for 100,
you'd have to go 150.
That 10 years, you're passing up a lot of money to maybe get another contract. Baseball money's guaranteed. If you're going to get $400 million over the course of 10 years, a 40-year AAV or whatever it correlates to,
sure.
I think that's worth taking. Like Shohei, I think Shohei would be silly to take a small-term deal unless it's like you said, where you're just blowing him out of the water.
But do you think that teams are going to be more likely to want to give him a long-term deal after having a second versus a short-term?
They want to get locked in to like keep that palatable. They don't want to do 75 a year if they can get potentially 52 a year over a long term.
Right. Deal. I mean, I obviously, if I'm Shohei Ohtani and I'm getting presented a long-term versus short-term deal, I'm taking the long-term deal. But I'm wondering if maybe, because all of a sudden we now have heard him have these reports, and I don't know who's exactly saying it. It's not him directly, but reports coming out that he'd be open to a short-term deal, which makes me wonder if that's because he's been getting some pushback on the longer deals that he's been proposed to get. I don't know, because I do see a short-term deal coming off your second Tommy John surgery. Maybe there are teams that are more comfortable with that short-term deal, even though Shohei Ohtani ultimately wants a long-term deal. Yeah. All speculation.
So, somebody in the chat just said, John, baseball money isn't real anyhow. No, it's not. You want to hear some more of these big market bat potential rumored money out there? Because I know when I read the Bellinger numbers like a week or two ago, people were like, he's not getting that. Well, here's what the experts expect Cody Bellinger to sign for. Expert 1, $220 million over 8 years. Expert 2, $150 million over 6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say
220 over 8.
That's about 22 million a year.
No, more than that.
It's like 26.
All right, I was close. I just did the math in my head. 220 over 8.
That was close, she says. I'm just using my creative resources. 150 over 6.
150 over 6 is about 28 million a year.
Yeah, roughly, right?
What's it?
I'm trying to think.
150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then John Heyman predicts
25 million a year. Sorry, not 28.
Over 8.
That's 30 million.
So this is Cody Bellinger, a guy that
I like this game. Keep this going.
That was out there a year ago as basically like a prove it deal. Now you're talking north of $200 million. The new rumor on Matt Chapman is that the Giants are after him from the Texas Rangers, a pretty good power hitting third baseman. His projected value, according to the experts, 156 over 6 years.
Okay, so that's about 26 million a year.
80 million over 4 years was the next projection.
Okay,
so there was a wide gap on Matt Chapman there.
That's
Rhys
easier.
Hoskins is mentioned in this. Teoscar Hernandez, 68 over 4. JD Martinez, 63 over 3. And here's Rhys Hoskins. According to the expert,
21 million per year.
We'll get. I think this math. You can math this math really easy.
I've been doing all the math.
$60 million over 3 years.
Oh wow! I'll take a nice 20 million a year.
Yeah.
Where do I sign?
Expert 2 says 40 million over 2 years. John Heyman projects 1 year, 20 million. Kind of prove it deal. So I think some of those numbers are crazy. Like the Cody Bellinger numbers. Greg MC says can't be trusted. Look, high pedigree, high prospect. Played at high levels in Major League Baseball, then had a downturn, and then kind of resurged this past year. I still think that's a risky signing for Cody Bellinger, and you're talking $200 million. Yeah. MBD asked for Gurriel numbers. According to the experts, Gurriel, expert 1 says 56 million over 4 years.
Ooh, so that's 14 million per year.
That's actually a bargain, I think, kind of.
Okay.
Expert 2 says 36 million over 3 years. John Heyman projects 45 over 3.
12. Okay. 15. Easy.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
this money is not
interesting.
real.
It's not real. These numbers are wild. David saying these conversations the last few days really make you glad we have a pro like Dombrowski making the decisions. He's not going to spend unwisely for big names just because they're nationally sexy. Yeah, the numbers that are floating around are insane.
Cody Bellinger, $200 million. It blows my mind, but it's
okay.
That's the
interesting.
talk out there.
That is the talk. And you know what else is the talk out there? It's the Game Time app, because at the Game Time app, you can easily go see where your seats are going to be for any comedy show, concert, any game that you're going to. You go over to the Game Time app, download it, and you can use code PHLY to get $20 off of your purchase. Again, for those listening on podcast platforms, the code is PHLY at the Game Time app. Gets you $20 off. I have downloaded it myself. They also send you notifications as new tickets are dropping or prices are dropping. So they make it easy for you to find your seats. You can actually see where you're going to be sitting. And then with our code PHLY, you can now also get a discount when you go over to the Game Time app. All right. Plenty still going on. I just want to run through some other news because, listen, we've got a lot of rumors, updates to get through. So the one thing that I wanted to make sure to hit on is the fact that today marks the deadline. I always think when I hear the non-tenders, I always think of chicken tenders. Right? Doesn't it make you think of some chicken tenders? So there are 14 players who might join the free agency pool. And this article I just saw drop out today by MLB, and I forget who actually wrote it. It's a combination of a few different people, like David Adler, Andrew Simon, Thomas Harrigan. And so on this list, they're just sharing the list of non-tender candidates because, of course, the deadline being that it is today is Friday, is today 8 p.m. Eastern time. So teams have until then to tender a contract for the 2024 season of players who are under club control. And these potential non-tender candidates are guys that you can watch ahead that might be joining the free agent pool. So the list has some pretty interesting names across it. Some that I notably wanted to just talk about, if I can go back to my list, we've got Brandon Woodruff from the Brewers, also from the Brewers.
He has a player option, I believe, for the following year. So he's not going to pitch next year because he's got the shoulder injury. Mm-hmm. But he does have that option for 2025, I guess. God, man, time's flying.
Yeah.
So he does have that option.
Yes.
If you could buy low enough on him, like, because one of the other things that came out yesterday is the Brewers have had many calls about him. If you can buy low on him, sure, but it's not going to do anything for you next year. So if it's a buy low and stash situation, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Woodruff does have a 2.93 ERA, 7.9 strikeouts, 148 walks, when healthy. But yes, that would not be until he does have that did have surgery on his shoulder in October to repair his anterior capsule in his right shoulder. Ooh. So Rowdy Tellez, also of the Brewers, from the Mets, Daniel Vogelbach.
Oh, man, the two big boys growing
Austin
on the roof
Meadows
hit the market this summer. They might be the two biggest boys in baseball.
Beefy boy offseason right there.
That is the big boy.
Beefy boy every once in a while.
Did you ever see the big boy grilling on the roof video?
No.
Oh, I'll have to show it to you.
It just sounds dangerous, though.
No, it's funny. It's just these two guys rapping, and one of them's fat, and it's a big boy grilling on the roof. And it's just the internet,
The interneting as always.
My brain is like 18% internet stupidity.
Oh, good Lord. All right, well, here's some more for you. Austin Meadows from the Tigers, from the Twins, Kyle Farmer. You also have Kyle Lewis from the Diamondbacks, from the Guardians, James Karinchak, Joe Mantiply from the Diamondbacks, as well as Jose Trevino from the Yankees, from the Reds, Nick Senzel, Jorge Mateo from the Orioles, Nick Gordon from the Twins, and Dakota Hudson from the Cardinals, and then Spencer Turnbull of the Tigers. So one of these or a couple of these guys may also be joining the free agent pool soon, and who knows, depending on what happens with the non-tender deadline. Eat some chicken tenders as we get ready for the non-tender deadline. We'll keep an eye on those names and how things are shaping up and changing, if they return to their teams or if they're hitting the free agency chaos. But yes, in the chat, we've got Yandy Diaz is on the block, Tacitus, Kilgore saying, MBD is saying, do we have a place to put Yandy? John's talking about Alec Boehm. So some interesting names to keep an eye on for sure. But I know we've got, joining us very shortly, John Foley will be on the show as we are getting ready to bring him in for Fridays with Foley. But just some other happenings around the league that we wanted to quickly run through.
By the way, Tyler got good news yesterday.
What was your good news?
I did?
Yes. Manuel Margot has interest from the Mets and the Yankees.
Yes.
All right.
Stay away.
So there you go. There's one
There
off
you
your
go,
worry
Tyler.
list.
There's a positive for you, a Friday positive note. Also, there was the trade that happened with the White Sox and the Braves. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because why not? But the White Sox
Division trade worth noting.
Yeah, for sure. The White Sox received a number of different players.
Soroka, which I was quasi surprised at, but not really because he hasn't pitched in like 3 years.
So yes, Michael Soroka, Nicky Lopez, Jared Schuster, Braden Schumacher, Riley Gowans, and then the Braves receive one left-handed pitcher in 30-year-old Aaron Bummer. And is it a bummer that they received Aaron Bummer?
Well, he sucked last year.
They got a veteran. They got someone that's had a 6.79 ERA over 61 games in 2023. Yeah. And then you also had 5 different pieces. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3.
Yes,
5 different
5,
pieces
which is
moved in
surprising.
that trade. 5 for 1 deal. Interesting.
As Tyler would say, probably some of those guys aren't even real, but yes.
I mean, you get a minor league righty and Riley.
5 for 1er. And Soroka, like if you're the White Sox, that's a perfect guy to take a gamble on because, was a Braves top prospect, showed flashes of being really good, and then just couldn't stay healthy for 3 straight years. So if you're the White Sox, it makes total sense to take a shot on a guy like that. And
they get 2 right-handed pitchers, one Riley from the minors. You get a left-handed pitcher in Jared. You get an infielder in Nicky. Shortstop in Braden.
Yeah, and Bummer was really good 2 years ago, so Atlanta's betting on him coming back. Struck out 78 over 58 innings 2 years ago, and as a high ground ball pitcher. So for a relief pitcher, that's a really good characteristic to have. So we'll see.
You guys
the
are
Braves
saying they're picking up some lefties for Schwarbs and Hart.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd be worried about getting past the Phillies too. You haven't been able to do it yet. I did find myself reading the Buster Olney. I think he announced the trade or whoever it was. I was reading the comment section and all the White Sox fans were laughing at Atlanta thinking they could save this guy. So
it's a weird trade because I look at both of these fan bases and they're like both fan bases think they won this weird trade.
Yeah.
And so Bummer's got great stuff, like filthy stuff. But like you said, his numbers were bad last year.
Yeah.
His numbers were really good. What was it, 2 years ago? He was
Two years
quite
ago,
good.
he was really good. Yeah.
But then you look at what the White Sox got in return, and quite frankly, like Soroka's washed. It's a couple of young prospects that I don't think are
they're not real people.
They're not top tier prospects. And then Nicky Lopez is a guy that probably he's like a starting infielder on bad teams and a utility guy on better teams. But the fact is, I would not be stunned if like the White Sox, if they're bad again next year, flip Lopez to somebody else at the trade deadline anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
So really all you're doing is getting a guy to acquire more prospects. This is a weird trade for me, but like if I have to pick a winner, the Braves probably win this trade.
Yeah, you got rid of some young dead weight, I would say. I hate to say, but yeah.
Oh, they're people, Renee. Jeez.
Well, you said they're not real people, JB, bird killer, and now they're people. But, I mean, you're getting rid of 5 guys. I mean, obviously, even a minor leaguer, and for the White Sox, you get some youth and prospects, and I don't know, it's a weird trade, but worth noting at least.
Yeah. Another big one for me was that Jeff Passan said this Soto and the Yankees makes too much sense for it not to happen. And yes, hypothetical man, the White Sox are indeed a dumpster fire. But yes, Juan Soto, it would make sense that he goes to the Yankees. Passan and others, I'm going to listen to Passan almost over everyone. Except maybe like a Jason Stark and a Ken Rosenthal and a Buster Olney. Like those are like the power 5.
I'm going to listen to him over everybody except
maybe those guys. Like they're all on even footing to me. John
Okay.
Heyman and Nightingales and the other guys are a little too agent puppety. So like
I get that.
So like when those 4 or 5 speak, I listen. Heyman and Nightingale are interesting because they kind of get used in the rumor mill to stir the shit a little bit.
Yeah.
So when Passan says Yankees and Soto, I feel like that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And Juan Soto going to New York, it would be pretty gross. But, it is what it is. He's going to go somewhere, most likely.
Yeah, well, I love every local outlet from their respective markets is putting together potential trades that would work to be able to bring Juan Soto to their team. Of course, the Phillies had one as well. Saw a cool article that was through Matt Poston's on Sports Illustrated, just talking about the Phillies probably don't have enough prospects and young players to be able to get a trade put together for Soto, but
And
we
Mickey
could dream.
says it's a 1-year rental. Yeah, I would imagine these teams that are going to trade for him are probably going to try to, offer him an extension as well.
Yeah. I mean, the Phillies are in the conversation as allegedly, possibly one of the teams that have the potential to piece together some young players and prospects to be able to make a deal happen for Juan Soto. We could dream, but
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how that happens.
There was another name that entered the trade market in the starting pitching front as well that I know entices Tyler a little bit. Apparently, the White Sox, Tyler, have been taking calls on Dylan Cease. How does that make you feel inside? Does it make you feel warm and cuddly?
Oh, Dylan Cease is a guy that's got sick stuff. I mean, like,
Yeah, but he hasn't put it together yet.
No, and that's the thing is, like, he's one of those guys. Like, what Dylan Cease has become over the last couple of years is what I fear that Mick Abel is a guy who's got this great stuff.
Yeah.
But then you look at his box score, and it's like 3 1/3, 8 strikeouts, 6 walks, 4 earned runs, and you go, well, that's an inefficient performance, and that is what I fear that Mick Abel ends up being. Is a Dylan Cease type of player, Lucas Giolito type of player that's got all these great tools, but doesn't know how to put them together.
Well, you know who knows how to put some great things together? That's FOCO. Because over at FOCO, you have a chance to buy collectibles, bobbleheads, shirts, any type of apparel. They do not have flip-flops, I think. Actually, I don't know if they do, but they do have slippers and some other footwear. And they have whatever you are looking for to be able to represent your squads, your favorite teams. You can go over to FOCO, use that code PHLY, get 10% off, and you can get the overalls, the hats, the collectibles, like the ones that are behind me on our set here, to have around your house, your office, your studio, to wear out at the games. So head over to FOCO, use that code PHLY, and get 10% off of your purchase. And with that, it is Friday, guys, TGIF. And you know what happens on Friday? We've got Fridays with Foley. I don't remember my song. Fridays with Foley.
It's okay. We probably don't need
Fridays with Foley. It's Friday with Foley. Welcome in, John Foley of 2008 Phils. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. It's Friday. I'm here for Fridays with Foley. Love the music.
Issues. We're off to a good start.
Yeah, and you can hear me even. So that's so we're already doing better than last week.
Yes.
I got this headset. I look like I'm ready to go play some Fortnite, but
Nice.
Whatever works.
To other things that are happening around the league, I want to talk about what's been happening on your Twitter with your hilarious movies that you're putting together of images from iconic movies that you're adding Phillies into every day until baseball's back, as you've been talking about. I need to know, how are you getting these ideas? Because every time I'm like, that was spot on. That was spot. And every time I think I've seen the best one, you come out with a better one.
Yeah, it's the search for off-season content, right? You got to do something. You get in the habit. I know you can relate. I mean, you get in the habit of just tweeting about baseball every day. There's always something going on, a game every night, and then it just leaves this hole when the season ends. So trying to fill that, doing whatever I can. I mean, I just have a massive collection of insane Phillies photos on my phone. So it's usually picking one of those and then just saying, all right, which movie can I put this in? But I think I might run out of movies. There's a lot of days until spring training, so we'll see. So suggestions are very welcome. If people have ideas, send those over.
Yeah, hit them up at 2008 Phils, and that's with a Z, right, at the end?
With a Z.
With the Z.
So hit them up. So, John, one of the things we've been talking about a little bit today is Shohei Ohtani and all that, but I want to run these new proposed rule changes by you as well and get your thoughts there, because this is becoming, I think, for me, a little bit too much tinkering. So one of the main things that the Rules Committee has discussed at the GM meetings and is going to go into the winter meetings is the reduction in pitch clock with runners on base. The new proposal will reduce the pitch clock from 20 seconds with runners on to 18 seconds. The clock with no runners on at 15 seconds will stay the same, not be affected. They're also considering reducing the amount of mound visits each team gets from 5 to 4. To me, it seems like a little too much tinkering for, 3 minutes saved per game. What are your thoughts here on the new proposed rule changes?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't see the need to just keep tinkering like this. Everybody, now I'm in the minority. I actually am not a fan of the pitch clock at all. I think it's helpful for if you're watching the games on TV, but it kills you if you're at the
Me,
game.
grumpy old man here who likes his
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I see both sides of it, but look, everybody loves it. Everybody loved it last year, called it a massive success. You've got the games down to like 2.5 hours. What, changing it from 20 seconds to 18 seconds? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why? What are we doing? It
So I
seems so
read
arbitrary.
the follow up on that was that as pitchers got used to it and got accustomed to it, they started stretching it out longer. So the game time the first 2 or 3 months of the season was 2 hours 37 minutes. By the end of the season, the average game time was 2 hours and 44 minutes. So 6 whole minutes of extra time was figured out.
Oh,
So
boy.
I guess they're trying to get that under control.
Yeah, I mean,
6 minutes,
how
you know?
short? How short do they want these games? Make it 9.
Yeah.
Make it 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
7
that's-
seconds with somebody on base. Let's just get this over with. I mean, what are we?
Yeah, it seems a bit
What are we
extreme.
trying to do?
That is the wild thing. We're talking about a matter of 6 minutes here. And
Yeah.
not only are we talking about those possible changes, but Ken Rosenthal did come out and say from The Athletic that there are some other changes that have been proposed as well. Most of them having to do with the umps resetting the clock following a timeout or pitchers not being allowed to buy extra time by stalking around the mound. But some other possible tweaks. So pitchers being forced to work from the stretch with a runner on base, and any pitcher who warms up on the mound has to face at least one batter. And then they're not sure if that has to include pitchers that have injuries or anything like that, but it's aimed to eliminate the ability for the defense to wait for the first hitter of the inning to be announced and then make a pitching change. So some other like possible changes that are being thrown out there to shorten the games because they're so long with that additional 6 minutes from 20 seconds to 18 seconds, but also from just even the warm-up side. So I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we are overthinking things in terms of sports, of like the rules and all these changes, and we're overcomplicating things at this point. But I don't know, John.
That's where I am with it. It just seems like too much. I'm over it. Fought the battle on the pitch clock, lost. I thought it was a beautiful thing when baseball was the only sport without a clock.
Yeah.
I know I'm in the minority with this, so I'll let it go. But now 20 to 18 seconds. So I know it's too much. It's too much.
So, John, one of the things we've been batting around today, just kind of in a pipe dream, non-realistic manner, is Shohei Ohtani. And it's not realistic. The Phillies aren't going to sign him. But what we're tossing around is, would you give Shohei Ohtani 2 years and $150 million? It's not your money to spend.
Absolutely. It's not my money. Go spend that Middleton cigar money. What wouldn't I give Shohei Ohtani?
Could you imagine him in Citizens Bank Park? It would be insane.
It would be wild. Obviously not actually going to happen.
No.
But it's fun to think about. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's something that, as we all keep saying, it's not our money. If he's...
Nope.
That's the numbers
I
that
can't
are
afford
projected
Joey.
at. Yeah, I can't either. Hey, give him all that in the kitchen sink, whatever you need to be able to sign Ohtani to your roster. I know in the chat some people are jumping in also on the rule changes as well. So just wanted to quickly share those. But John, you're saying in the chat, part of the shorter clock is to prevent pitchers from throwing all out every pitch. They're also looking at capping the number of rostered pitchers to 12. Dave's talking about actually wanting to add 5 seconds to the pitch clock and getting rid of the ghost runner until the 12th inning. And then, of course, pay Nola
I agree
over
with that
Bieber,
ghost runner.
some other thoughts.
I
so.
hate the ghost runner.
Yeah. I know
it.
you've been...
It fundamentally changed
actively.
the game. Like the pitch clock, I understood the point of. The ghost runner is ridiculous. If you want to instill it in like 14th, 15th inning so people can go home to their families, sure. But like, come on, what are we doing?
Yeah. So in terms of Shohei Ohtani, I could see a short-term deal happening. I know these 10, 11-year deals have been thrown out there as well, but I kind of feel like we're hitting a short-term deal. I don't know. Tyler, I think you wanted to jump in on this. Is this what you're You wanted to add your thoughts here?
Oh no, I was just messing around. That was like the Jamie was talking about. He can't afford Shohei Ohtani. I said it's one of those like, can we get Shohei? Like, can we get McDonald's? And it's like, no, we got food at home. It's like, no, we got Shohei at home.
Phillies have food at home, unfortunately.
Oh, man. So then we also have been talking about, it feels as though with all these rumors going around John, it's only a matter of whoever has the first news, the first signing. Then we're going to see a trickle effect from there. In your opinion, who do you feel like is the first starting pitcher? There's been a lot of teams out there actively, about 8 that we were talking about on the show yesterday, actively looking for a starting pitcher. Who do you think, in terms of the available names, Yamamoto, Snell, Nola, Ohtani, who's going first off the board in your opinion?
It's tough. I mean, you definitely get the impression the Phillies and Nola are so far apart that the only way maybe they can come to an agreement on his value is for somebody else to sign. And then it's like, okay, one of us, either the Phillies or Nola is wildly off base here. If somebody else signs, then you sort of figure out, okay, it was either the organization or the player. So I would say probably not Nola. I guess Snell, just because there seem to be more complications with Yamamoto, and he'd really have to figure out if the team's a fit, if the area is a fit. You can see Snell happening maybe a little more quickly than that, and I think Nola's going to take a while. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think Snell's going to be the first to pounce at the money and just take what's out there, because this starting pitcher market is sounds like these guys are about to cash in a major way because there's so much desperation out there. One of the other things that was announced yesterday, we've known the 2026 All-Star Game was coming to Philadelphia, but they announced Atlanta the year before. But, John, 2026 in Philadelphia is going to be absolutely insane. They're trying, I know, to get the Sixers to host the NBA All-Star Weekend. Apparently the Flyers are going after it as well. So you're going to have the MLB All-Star Game, the World Cup, the U.S. Open at Marion, and the Bicentennial. So in just a short amount of time, Philadelphia is going to be the center of, at least domestically, the universe, which is a contradiction statement, but you know what I mean. It's going to be pretty wild here with the All-Star Game coming up in 2026. I feel as though Philadelphia just always is neglected when it comes to these things. And it's been a long freaking time since we've seen the Midsummer Classic in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. It's been forever, and I think it's going to be a great year and a really great opportunity to showcase the city. What better place than here in 2026?
Yeah.
So
it definitely makes it exciting. Seeing the news that the 2025 All-Star Game is going to be down in Atlanta was that reminder that as Atlanta's getting ready to host their first since 2000, that was back when Derek Jeter was named MVP at Turner
we're
Field.
Since 96, and we have one of the best ballparks. It's so stupid.
If you let me finish.
Stupid Atlanta love.
If you let me finish. But as that news was coming out, it was the reminder, oh, that's right, 2026, when the All-Star Week's going to be in Philly, is also sending us back to 26 plus years that'll be back in Philly. So it's an exciting time to think about for the fact that 2026 will be here before we know it. Philly's going to explode.
All-Star at the Vet?
Can I name the Phillies All-Star at the Vet?
That year? John, you got it?
Ricky Bo.
Yeah, Ricky Bo was the Phillies All-Star that year at the Vet. Man, the Vet was such a dump.
Time.
I loved it, but it was such a dump. And that's why it's like kind of like it's a joke that Citizens Bank Park hasn't hosted. It's one of the best stadiums in Major League Baseball.
So partly why they're doing it in 2026 is in honor of the 250th anniversary of American independence, of course. So it is tied into the whole country in that sense. But then also 50 years, as you mentioned, after we had the All-Star Game at the Vet. So it's a monumental moment for Philly too, because we're tying in independence and all this other history.
The Braves have hosted 3 since then. Since we last had one. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, should we get to Guess That Ballpark with John so he can watch live Renee cheat?
He's not watching. First of all, John, all right, let's just throw this out there really quickly. I will say I thoroughly enjoyed our math game earlier, and I will prefer that any day over Guess That Ballpark because math is more my wheelhouse. But I will say, John, we didn't have rules. All we said was guess that ballpark. I have a nice list of all the names, And then there's a nice little small thumbnail picture of some of the ballparks. And so Jamie over here was looking at my paper. I should have had the divider up. He's looking at my digital paper and told the teacher I was cheating.
John, you have a background in
snitch.
litigation. What's the
He's a snitch.
What's
He's
the
a snitch.
unspoken
Snitches get
rules?
stitches. So
The unspoken
now-
rules of understanding. There is a presumed no cheating clause. I think
now
in life.
all of a sudden we have rules for the game. Jamie's doing a clock. He's counting while I'm thinking, and then on top of that, he's
need to be
in my head saying that he's all over the place saying I'm cheating, and got everybody else thinking I'm cheating.
She takes 6-7
Bullying.
minutes.
He's just
She's
bullying.
Googling ballpark images. I thought that was
I'm
understood.
being bullied. So John, what side of the table are you on? Who are you siding with?
I'm with you, Renee. This game is hard enough. We tried to play last week. It was hard enough without rules. Nobody needs to make it. Nobody needs to make it more.
It's very
challenging.
difficult, and even with so the image is not the same as what you're seeing on the screen. It's not the outline. It's just a generic ballpark picture.
All right, then I'm
and
going to cheat
it's very
too.
small. Okay, go ahead and let's see if you can
Good.
actually get it. But then the bullying of like you only have 10, 9, 8,
Well, 'cause
counting
you-
down.
I mean,
like
yeah,
what are
like,
we doing here?
You take too long.
We're on a digital show. We technically have all day.
No, I don't have all day. I have the bladder of like an 8-year-old. So
All right, me too. So that being said, John, I'm glad you're on my side. I knew you would choose correctly. I wish I could somehow like flip flop you guys and bring John in here and send you to the virtual world. All right, John, and everybody else, it's time. Let's do it. Guess that ballpark. So we didn't do well yesterday. And I'm going to blame Jamie because I couldn't even think straight. It was Citizens Bank Park. And there was so much noise in here.
I knew it was
couldn't
Citizens
think
Bank
straight.
Park too after I submitted my answer. I hated it.
Oh gosh. So yes, you guys join us in the chat. Let's get this right today. Maybe we should work together. Not. Let's see what
fun is that?
Let's see what our ballpark is for today. I'm still in the lead 2-1.
By the way, guys, if this is how this is going to proceed from now on, I'm going to just start making stadiums up. Like I'm going to make like Tyler Zulli Field, and it's going to look ridiculous.
To Renee's point, it's not easy. Like I have some pictures in front of me. It's not a given.
It's not. The pictures. First of all, the pictures are not the same.
You don't
angle.
get to claim you're winning so far.
All right.
Wait, how do I not get to claim I'm winning?
I haven't cheated yet.
Okay, so because I had sense to,
we're gonna need Judge
because I
Foley
had
to
sense to
intervene
reference my resources before you, I don't get to claim my victory.
I'm only you were cheating.
I wasn't cheating.
Yes, you are. All right, hit us with that ballpark.
All right, 1 second.
I didn't even look at those. Are big pictures. You're really cheating.
Oh, so now you're. Oh, that is
See, is
a
it easy
wonky ass outfield.
Okay, let me consult my sources.
The one I guessed yesterday.
Yeah,
comes
Randy's
from
right. I'm dropping a backyard baseball park in it.
Oh my God, I used to love
You're gonna get
guys.
Ernie
I used to be
Steele's
so good
backyard.
at backyard baseball.
I never played backyard baseball. I missed that.
Loser.
No, I'm just older.
Just kidding. It was a great game.
Tyler and an old friend of mine used
See,
to talk about
is this
the
easier,
time.
Jamie? No.
Yeah, it's a little easier. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with my answer from yesterday.
What?
What was your answer from yesterday?
Minute Maid Park.
Okay.
What?
And if I get it today, it proves that cheating does in fact make this game easier.
No, about all that.
MBD said put the Polo Grounds in there.
Connie Mack
Now,
Stadium.
see, Polo Grounds would be easy to get because it's 800 miles to center field and 12 feet to right.
I didn't realize I drive past Connie Mack's home every day. And I just noticed that the other day. Pretty cool.
I'm gonna go with.
I'm going Minute Maid.
I'm gonna hide my screen.
Why are you hiding your screen?
We're going to get
I don't
folders
want you
like
to
they used to do
see
in
it.
grade
See
school.
what?
You
I
have to put your
already submitted
folders
my
up.
answer.
I don't think you're right. I don't think you're right.
Okay, then guess something different. I already gave up. See, you spend too much time on this because you want to be right so bad.
I do want to be right. I mean, we're playing this game to be right, not to be wrong.
No, we're playing the game to torture ourselves.
I'm gonna go with Truist Park. We haven't done
Truist
that.
Park, the Atlanta Braves. And
Wait.
do we
In
lose
the
John?
chat,
No,
do we
John's
have
still here.
any
Okay.
answers? MBD said Minute Maid isn't a bad guess. I was thinking Oracle at first, actually, and I'm kind of now nervous. Let me do one more quick.
Oh, come on. No, you already submitted an answer.
I didn't submit
Truist.
officially
Truist.
because they both look similar. Oh no, it's the left and the right field.
Oh, God.
And
John, you see what I have to deal with?
All right, I am gonna go with Oracle. Oh, dang it! It kind of looks like Truist, but it kind of looks like Oracle.
Submit an answer.
All right, I'm gonna stick with Truist.
Truist is
All
in.
right, Coors Field. John saying, John, what do you have? John Foley. There's a lot of Johns in the chat on the show.
I'm gonna go with Jamie on this one and say Minute Maid. That
Oh shoot!
Minute Maid.
Oh no, I'm
left
nervous.
field.
All right, so
Wait, have you heard a correct answer?
between the chat and you guys, there has been a correct answer. Yes.
Gosh.
Tyler's got a good poker face when it comes
my
to this.
God.
So we're locking them in. 2 Minute Maids and a Truist.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That just proves it, ladies and gentlemen. Cheating is easier. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. John, congrats to us for being so smart.
We did it.
This is gonna ruin Renee's weekend. She's gonna think about it all weekend and she's not gonna be happy. But now that I can look at images, it's certainly a lot easier.
I've got nothing to say. I need to get better at losing. It's been 31 years of this. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. Good job, guys. Congratulations on your win.
Yeah. Well, John, thanks as always for joining us on Friday. Hope you have a great weekend, and let's hope next time we talk, there's some salacious Phillies rumors out there.
Hope so. Hope things start moving. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Yeah,
Thank you.
anytime,
Thanks
John.
for siding with me too, John. I'll take that as a small victory.
Well, I just went ahead and won. And you know where you can win, Renee? At Wheelhouse Cards. See, you can lose the stadium game, go to Wheelhouse Cards, and still win because they have 2 locations in Wayne and Westchester. And Wheelhouse is our go-to sports, gift, and apparel shop in the Delaware Valley. Their motto is cards and community because that's why we're all here, for our love of sports that unites us all. They carry all of your favorite card brands from Topps Chrome Baseball and Mosaic Football, as well as t-shirts, hats, and hoodies from all your favorite brands like Mitchell & Ness, one of my personal favorites, Shy Vintage Sports, 47 brand junk food starter. There's some sweet starter jackets that are back in action these days. And if you're looking to grade your sports card collection, well, Wheelhouse offers PSA grading submissions. They also host a ton of different family-friendly events and birthday parties every month. So stop into either of their locations in Wayne or Westchester, open 7 days per week at 11 a.m. Use code PHLY and get $10 off any purchase of $25 or more in store. Also, be sure to give them a follow at Wheelhouse Cards on Instagram. It's okay, Renee. It's Friday. You're gonna hit the weekend. I don't know what you have in store this weekend. I actually have another full weekend off due to the Eagles' Monday night game this week. So I'm looking forward to 2 days off. Tyler is probably looking forward to 2 days off. I am not going to think about the stadium game again until Monday. So don't beat yourself up over it. Don't let it torture you. And go have a great weekend.
Whatever. You know, it's interesting. We started this show with people, I felt like giving me a virtual pat on the back, and that's how we're ending also. So Santiago has, from our show yesterday, discovered that I was single, apparently, possibly single. And so taking some jabs there that I have lots of.
Taking a little too long to get back to you.
I know. I actually am not single, Santiago. My man is just, I'm just waiting for him to sign with his team. He's the top, guy on the market. I'm just waiting for him to lock it down so I can figure out where I'm going to be living next year.
John Dickerson's comment cracks me up. At this point in the Hallmark movie, the conflict. In 10 minutes, Renee and Jamie will make out.
You're a natural, John. You're a great writer.
You should go write for Hallmark Channel.
Basically, you've got to figure it out. Yeah, have a great weekend. Other John Sequella.
Who knew cheating would help?
Jinx, get out of
Jinx,
my
buy me a
head.
Coke. Did you ever do that? To buy me a Coke?
No, but wasn't it like, oh no, I was going to do the punch buggy thing.
That was
like punch buggy, no punch back.
Those were fun.
Just wanted a reason to punch you.
Yeah. Ow.
Nah. All right. So it's okay, guys. Everything's okay. This is fine. We're having fun. Hypothetical man, you said you're 0-4.
We're having fun.
You're
I'm 1 for 1 in the cheating world. Just want that on the record. 1 for 1.
All right. Let's start a whole new series then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically we're tied up. Yeah, we're tied up. Now we're tied up.
Well, you cheated like 5 days previously to get that record.
No, it's not easy to cheat.
I
like people were saying, your depth perception is totally different because the field.
On Monday, we'll close your computer. Next week, I get to cheat, and then we'll have a true record at the end of next week.
Wait, what?
Hmm?
But again,
to even it out, I'm just saying.
That's not the thing.
I'm technically
You're making
winning.
up rules, and I'm not following these rules.
Well, your rules involve cheating. So are they really rules?
What? You're making up rules. You're just talking. I don't know. All right, guys. Let us know what your scores are. Hopefully some of you are doing well. Mickey said you're owning this game. Santiago saying
I don't know about
Tyler's
you guys.
MVP.
I'm undefeated in this game.
Well, we're having
Guys.
requests from MBD for more Tyler Zulli trade proposals on Monday.
We can get weird.
You haven't even gotten to Tyler Glasnow yet.
Can we just do some math? Oh, I've got a trivia for you guys.
Oh.
And it's not baseball related.
Uh-oh.
Which word is a company actively working to try to make the word of the year?
Wait, what? Word of the year is a thing?
Yes. Yes.
According to who?
According to the dictionary, Webster's dictionary has a word of the year.
A word of the year.
And I heard this fun
And a
fact.
company is
Listen,
pushing-
I'm full of fun facts and random knowledge, so I'm going to give you guys some trivia now.
A company is pushing
their own name.
So
to
a
be
company is actively pushing this specific word to be the word of the year for Webster. It's a word that is a contentious word.
Contentious.
Problematic.
Cancel.
No.
problematic.
Mm-hmm. Gets people in a tizzy. Makes people's skin crawl a little bit. Gives you a little bit of a quiver when you hear it. And it's Kraft
Shart.
mayonnaise that is trying to make this word.
Shart.
Is it a short
Kraft.
word? Is it a longer word?
It is
How many letters?
One syllable word.
Shart. Final answer.
I didn't. No.
Word
that's
of
not
the
it.
year. Shart.
Kraft mayonnaise is actively pushing for this word to be the word of the year because they also would like to use it to help promote their products, their mayo.
Oh, moist.
Yeah. So I heard that Kraft mayonnaise is
moist
actively
is-
trying to make moist the word
I
of
don't
the
think they're
year
going to be
for
successful
Merriam-Webster.
because every female I've ever met in life hates that word.
Not just females. Nobody likes that word.
I think of cake.
No.
Females hate that word.
It's a weird word.
Yeah.
It's like a cringe, even just saying it. Like,
Yeah, they're not going to win in their efforts to get
No.
that to be word of the
so
year.
there's my trivia for the day.
Yeah.
Now I feel good about myself. All right. Well, yeah, it's never changed, Jamie. Jeff is saying.
I still think
I
Shart
hope
was
you
better
guys
than
learned
moist.
something. Shart is definitely, but I don't even know. Is that even an official word? Is that in the dictionary?
Nah,
See, like-
it should be.
Right. So it can't be a word of the year. It's not even an official word yet. It's like a slang.
Yeah. Didn't dough just get added? Homer's dough.
That's the thing. There are things that get added.
Yeah.
So maybe start the
maybe
petition
we start
for
the
Shart.
petition here for
I think
Shart
you
to be in
can
the
do it.
dictionary.
Shart in the dictionary, guys. Here we go. All right. Well, with that, I hope you guys don't shart yourselves this weekend and hope you eat a delicious moist cake.
Oh, it's there. Dictionary.com says it's there.
Shart is a word in the
Yep.
dictionary?
Shart's in the
What's
dictionary?
the definition?
So it's in their. It's one of their words they list as a slang dictionary
But what's
word.
the definition?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't actually have a definition. It just says
It's in the
dictionary.
slang?
It says dictionary.com slang dictionary.
Wow. Look at that. We all learned something.
Huh. There you go, guys.
Webster Dictionary. How woke of you.
Listen, today was fun. We did math. We basically are having our own Shark Tank. We're talking about random words.
Shark Tank would be great.
Jamie has redeemed himself and has tied things up and guessed that ballpark.
Yeah, I was allowed
we
to
didn't have
cheat.
audio issues. We had fun. It was a fantastic Friday for some of us. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully you've learned a lot of awesome things today that you can take away with you from Caillou and Lumberjack over
Shark
here
Tank.
and
We gotta find a way to
Jigsaw
make.
back there.
I gotta find a way to make that part of the show going forward. That's
Shark Tank?
Yeah, that really.
Maybe
made
we
me
should
laugh.
have a Shark Tank segment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or- yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm in on that. We'll think about that over the weekend.
With lots of shit to talk about.
Bring your awful ideas.
Yeah, your worst trade proposals. We'll throw it in the Shark Tank.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
We're going to have some sharks coming your way. So I hope you guys are ready for all of that and looking forward to more craziness and foolishness. So eat some moist cake. Be ready for some Shark Tanking. And yeah, let's have some fun. Have a great weekend. We've got lots of games this weekend, but of course we have to wait till Monday for one of the most important games of the week. Eagles Chiefs looking at you. So for us here at PHLY Phillies podcast, Tyler Zulli, Shark Tank,
Chirp Kelly, whatever you
Trevor
want.
Kelly,
Whatever.
Caillou. You've got so many names.
Yeah.
And I'm just Renee. Have a great weekend. See you guys back for more Monday. We'll be back here live at
I think 2:30.
Yes, we are. We're going later because we have a nice close game to Eagles. Close show to Eagles Chiefs game.
Yeah.
So tune in then. Follow us. We've got more coming your way. John Foley joined us as well. Thank you for joining us, 2008 Phils, for Friday with Foley's, and have a good one, guys. See you next time.
See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.